I'm sure you've seen the Den rocking before, but that was really rocking tonight, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a pleasure to be a part of. It was obviously one of the big objectives when I joined the club, that I was aware the form in terms of the results, and then obviously that leads to the feeling a bit hadn't been what it should be and what we want it to be at the Den. So it was one of the big objectives to put it right. It's taken a bit longer than we would have liked, but now back-to-back wins. But tonight the way it worked hand in hand, to be fair, because I said we want a certain atmosphere and energy from the fans, but it's absolutely our responsibility as a team to create that. And although there were spells where Norwich had lengthy spells of possession, I think the fans could see from the off that our attitude, our desire was there from the off, and then they fed off it, and it was what we wanted to be. It was very difficult for Norwich to play. Then when it gets heated in the second half, it kicks everyone on even more. And for sure, when we then go down to 10 and we've got to hang on and ride it out, the fans were massive in helping us through that. It was a brilliant night for us.
And the thing is that Millwall players are used to that atmosphere. They know how to handle that atmosphere when it gets like that. But obviously Norwich just couldn't handle it.
Yeah, that's again, I've spoken to so many players, players and coaches, particularly since I've joined Millwall, that everyone can recollect times where they've come to the Den and Millwall away is not a nice fixture that people look forward to playing in. So that's how we want it to feel. We obviously want to add an element of control and quality to our game in what we're about when we've got possession of the ball, but we don't want to do that at the cost of having that fight and aggression, which is on the pitch in how we play and how we defend, but that comes from the stands as well, with the energy from the fans, because it's a force.
But people might see the second half and say that's why we Millwall won, but you'd already created a lot of chances around half time either side, hadn't you? So the quality was there. You could have been 2 or 3 up.
Yeah, for sure, and I would credit the players massively, because I would be one to point out in a few weeks ago when we were in a tough run of performances and results that there were moments where we were creating half chances, but the final decision or the final end product wasn't of enough quality, and it was costing us. Last couple of games, there's been a lot of quality at key moments. So like you say, Norwich have come here and had a fair amount of the ball, more than us, which we knew before the game. We had a plan of how we wanted to defend and frustrate them, but we also had a plan of how we could hurt them going the other way. And it's a game where consecutive home games, the visitors have come here, dominated possession, but our goalkeeper's not really had a save to make, whereas we've had our goal that was a high quality goal, then we have Zian Fleming's big chance that gets saved, then we have Brooke Norton-Cuffy's header, which is a big chance that was at the end of like a 20 pass passage. We have Ryan Longman's chance near the end. So we've done a lot more going forward than the opponent have, despite all their dominance. So it was a very rounded performance from us that I was really pleased with.
Just one more from me. Was George Saville unlucky to get a red card for that challenge?
I think he probably was. I think when you do lunge like that, particularly when an opponent's running at that speed, it can look desperate and it puts the ref in a position. But having seen it back, which obviously the ref doesn't get the benefit of, but having seen it back, it's probably more cynical than it is reckless or dangerous. And if I think of the McLean tackle on George Honeyman before that, in terms of a danger to an opponent, I don't think there's much difference in it. So they can go either way. When it happens at that speed, they can go either way. It went against us, but fortunately enough, we rode it out after.
Is that now? I mean, he's out for 3 games.
Yeah, which is the biggest blow of all of it. I mean, obviously, short term and in the heat of the moment, you're delighted to see that the players sort of stick together and ride it out. But that is a loss for us.
Joe, just on that incident, is there any thought about potentially appealing it just because of how 50-50 it could be?
Cara, we've only just come out of seeing it, so we can update that even over the weekend.
Fair enough. Let me ask you about the other incident with Ashley Barnes, a couple of incidents actually. How did you see it, and what have the players told you about what was going on there?
We haven't spoken about those kind of incidents. It's so soon after. There's so much more to talk about in terms of how well we carried out our plan, how much character we showed, how much quality we showed. The dressing room's absolutely delighted there. That's been a tough few weeks for us all where we couldn't find a win. So we've now had in what's probably kind of like a little block of 4 games this festive period, we're three out of the 4 through it, and we've done a lot of good things. So it's a really happy dressing room. Moments like that always happen on the pitch. Certain opponents come here and try and provoke you maybe, but again, if you look at what it actually did, it brought us as a team and our fans together even more. The atmosphere was, ferocious in that second half, and that's probably a strength for us to play on.
Fair to say the game plan of maybe letting Norwich have the ball and then trying to catch them out on the counter-attack, that kind of came off exactly how you were hoping?
Yeah, and it was probably slightly enforced as well at the fixture schedule and what the costs physically of the QPR performance were. If you look at our performance on Boxing Day, QPR played out from the back a lot, and we went after them very aggressively. We pressed the goalkeeper. Our central defenders were following people into midfield, which was good on the day, worked well for us. But we had some tired bodies come in the day after it, and it's not possible to just keep going out every game, especially when there's 2 or 3 days between it, and just charge around the pitch and press, especially when you face opponents like them who put players in spaces that are hard to get to. They score a lot of goals. So we knew we'd have to be patient. We knew we'd have to suffer at times, but that wasn't us being submissive and just sitting back and hoping. We had a clear plan and an idea of how we could hurt them. We also wanted to show more control in our game on the ball, and again, if I refer back to the big chance Brooke has, that comes at the end of a spell where we're moving it across the back several times from side to side, and I was delighted with how the boys at the back used the ball more today than we did against QPR.
And we've spoken a few times now about confidence, the importance of confidence, how the team can actually change with confidence. And Norwich kind of dominate that first 15 minutes or so. Did we see after the goal the potential of this side when they do have a bit of confidence?
Yeah, I think we take confidence from getting a clean sheet away at Stoke, which on the face of it on the day looked like a bit of an underwhelming game. But then when you see them a few days later go away and win, was it 3-1 at Birmingham? You realise it's a solid performance and a solid point. So that was the start of our confidence kind of growing, that we'd plugged the gaps that we're seeing at the back, and we kept a clean sheet. Then you win a game, a big game that probably had a bit of pressure on it, that game on Boxing Day, because people start talking about us and QPR's league position going into it. So when you come through an occasion like that and get a win, the confidence was there tonight before the game. And as I said, the way that game played out, for any moments where Norwich did look calm and controlled and dominant, we were fully prepared for that and fully expecting it, and knew that we'd be able to hurt them, because they've scored a lot of goals, they've also conceded a lot of goals, so this definitely wasn't a smash and grab and let's ride out and see if we can nick anything by chance. It was a very deliberate performance, and I thought the lads carried it out brilliantly. You need the quality to do it, that's the main thing. When you defend that much, it's all about what you do when you get your chance, and the quality of the players was there tonight.
First game in a while that Wes Harding missed. He's got a slight knock. Could you tell us how he's doing and how long do you expect him to be out for?
Yeah, so Wes felt his hamstring at half-time against QPR, carried on. We got a scan the day after, and there's just a slight issue with his hamstring that will probably see him out will see him out for Bristol City. The Leicester Cup game will be touch and go, but it's probably not too much further than the Leicester game.
And obviously a bit of optimism now with the back-to-back wins. But quick turnaround around Christmas time, of course, with the fixtures. How do you feel like your players are dealing with it physically?
Well, no more tomorrow. It's definitely tough though. When you build a good run of performances and results, you get momentum. So often you do say, okay, we want the next game to come so we can build on it. It does feel like it comes very quickly. So for me, team selection won't be simple, because again, there's been some fantastic physical shifts out there from the lads, but it does come at a cost. So the one thing is it's the same for all the teams. We all play on a Friday and Monday, but for sure we're going to have to rest well for the next couple of days. Very little work that we get to do on the training pitch, and hope that we can dig out one more performance similar to the last three.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Thank you.